Cape Vape Cafe, the local e-cig store. Want to look like the sexy, magical dragon you know you are? Then go to 11300 North Garnett Road in Owasso, Oklahoma. Very affordable prices. I mean, this place is awesome. They have everything from beginning setups to the more advanced e-cig users. Try some of the unique flavors such as Time Bomb, Cutwood, Pinup, and Exalted. They have a little something for everyone, except that love you wish you had with that girl who just wants to be friends. But who cares about her? You're a freaking dragon now. Ask for Alex and tell him the freak sent you. Cape Vape Cafe! Cape Vape Cafe! Cape... Sorry. I wasn't expecting that. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 3 of Freak Fiction. I'm Mikey White.
I'm Rudy Ramone.
And I'm Burr.
We're going to be hanging out with you tonight.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in to episode 3.
Yeah.
Don't tune into anything else at all.
Yeah, nothing. If you're listening to this right now and you pause it, I swear to God, I'm going to punch you in your tit. Your left tit.
The left tit is the more sensitive one.
That is the most sensitive tit. So, how was your guys' weekend? Did you guys have a good weekend or a good? I should say week.
Well, I was babysitting.
Oh wow, fun.
Yeah. But when I wasn't babysitting, I got to see some Netflix, and
nice.
I got some movies that I hadn't seen. I got some movies that we watched that I haven't seen.
What did you watch that you've never seen before?
That I've never seen before. Well, it sucks. Sorry, I'm blanking out right now.
It's okay.
I have a brain fart in the middle of this. No, it's just that it sucks because I'm in the middle of a Charles Bukowski documentary. It stopped loading and then it's just like, we can't play this title right now.
Oh no.
Didn't want to do that, so which sucks. I also saw Staten Island Summer, which is a really nice, cool little indie movie. A lot of SNL people in it. Fred Armisen. He plays a Mexican.
Dude, that guy can do anything.
Yeah. The good thing about this though is that he doesn't play it like a stereotype like everyone else does. He just plays it like just naturally. a normal that guy. He seems like he reminds me of an uncle that I had.
Is it like a classic? I mean, I've never seen it. Is it like a classic, like a summer movie?
Yeah, it's like a summer movie, like coming of age story, so on and so forth. It's just that when it first started, I thought it was set in the 80s just because of the look and the colors and everything. Mm-hmm. But then like modern day references crept in, and I was like, wait, what? And then cell phones came into play. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's now.
Yeah, it's kind of like Drive, where it's kind of you see Drive. It's kind of like shot in like an 80s style and then retro futuristic look. And then they're driving like modern cars and they have cell phones and they're using modern weaponry. And you're like, oh, okay.
That's what I kind of thought about Superbad too.
Yeah.
When I watched Superbad for the first time, I was like, is this set in the 80s or is this set now?
Because the color and everything.
The color and the style of clothes everybody's wearing.
It looks like late 70s, early 80s.
But it's not. It's like, it's modern because there's a part in the movie where Michael Cera, he pulls out his phone and he's talking to that chick or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, I like the idea that it was set in the 80s. You know?
Oh, I remember like when Napoleon Dynamite first came out and like everyone was quoting it left and right. I hadn't seen it yet. And
I saw that movie in the theaters 15 times.
Oh my God.
I don't know why. Well, my dad used to do security at the movie theater, so every weekend I was able to go watch as many movies as I want.
Yeah, it's awesome. I worked in the movie theater when I was 16. I got to see.
It was so cool because there were so many movies that have kind of like defined me.
The last free movie that I got to see at the movie theater that I worked at when I was 16, Shaun of the Dead.
Awesome.
That is.
I remember whenever I used to work at the movie theater. Is it down the road? Yeah, it's down the road on
71st.
71st.
That's the one that I worked at. Yeah.
Star World?
No, not Star World. Mine was Cinemark.
Oh yeah. Well,
you worked at the
Cinemark Tulsa. The Tulsa.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I worked at Star World. It's really ghetto up there. Yeah. Not the dish Star World.
It's not Star World anymore.
No, it's still Star World.
Star World,
but it's not Dickinson. It's
Wait,
B&B
is it Star World? I went to go see American Ultra.
No, we went to
AMC.
Probably.
Okay.
The last, I remember the last free movie. What was the last free movie? I think that the last free movie I saw there, because I saw a ton, because they didn't care how much.
Do it if you can.
Yeah, the owner guy he was really cool, and he didn't really care what you did with your benefits, because technically, according to company policy, you're only supposed to watch a certain amount a week of free movies. But he's like, just watch as many as you want. I don't care. So I just saw a movie almost every night, like sometimes even like 2 or 3 movies.
Because I mean, did you walk in and like did you do cleanup or whatever or what?
Like my job there.
Yeah.
I was. Everybody starts off as concession, and then before, as I was right before I left, they were moving me over to like ticketing and stuff. So they moved me up front, but they got
you were pretty enough.
But like right around the time they were kind of sort of giving me a raise, they were giving me a promotion, kind of sort of. That was like the day they fired me. So like they called me up like, hey, we'll be no longer seeking your employment. I'm like.
What? They called you and said that?
I'm like,
it's like getting broken up with.
I was in the shower. I just got out of the shower. I was getting dressed to go to work, and they're like, and then we get a phone call, and they're like, it's the theater. I'm like, what? And they call the theater. I'm like, hello? Yeah, this is I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want people to like.
Yeah.
But this is blah blah blah.
Fuck that guy. Just say his name.
Manager from Star World 20. We were calling just to tell you that there's no need for you to come into work today. We will no longer seeking your employment. I'm like, could you give me a reason why? We're no longer. We're looking at another direction. I'm like, what does that mean? And then like the next day I came back. I'm like, what? He just told me you guys were looking in another direction. Like, don't ask us, man. We don't know. Like, why? Maybe I don't know. It was weird, but
it's fucked.
The last movie I saw, I think it was a pretty bad movie. I saw it with my uncle just because I could see free movies. I think it was like Hangover 3 or something. It was Hangover 3, but I remember probably the best time I had up there. But it was the back-to-back like Man of Steel, and then like This Is the End like marathon we had because there was like 2 years. Was that 2 years ago? Two or 3 years ago. About 2 years ago. Yeah, me and my friend Gary, we just did it back-to-back like marathon. We were at the movie theater for like 6 hours because like the first movie was like 2.5 hours long, and the next one was like 2 hours long. Yeah. And then we took a break like in the middle and went to eat at like Carl's Jr. or something weird. I don't like that place, but I think that's where we ate.
Anyway, I used to do the same thing when I was younger. I was at the movie theater every weekend, and I paid for the movie that I actually wanted to pay for, and then I'd sneak into other movies.
Of course, dude. That's what you have to do. I mean,
I saw at least 3 movies every weekend. If I didn't know, just one that I liked again.
Like, my dad used to work at the movie theater when I was like, he started when I was maybe 12 or 13 or so, and Bubble Boy came out. I remember watching Bubble Boy on opening night, and I was like, I thought it was a really good movie, and that's like the first time I ever saw Zach Galifianakis.
Oh yeah,
he's
first
in that
time
movie.
I ever saw Zach Galifianakis was Out Cold.
Out Cold. I didn't get to watch that until I was.
Yeah, he made out with the Swedish chick in the hot tub, and then he got stuck in it.
Yeah, we tried to have sex with the thing. Wasn't there a part where like a bear was like licking his junk and shit?
If I remember correctly, yeah.
I think he was like passed out in the snow, and a polar bear came up and started licking his testicles or whatever. Testicles.
Yeah, there's some other funny people in there, but I don't really remember that movie because I haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, I also saw an interesting documentary. It's Russell Brand, Addiction to Recovery.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And he he goes and he's on his little political mission to change the way that they treat drug addiction and so forth and everything. And he kind of starts off with Amy Winehouse because they are friends and allegedly more than friends, which is Russell Brand, so they probably were.
Rest in peace.
Yes, she was a lovely, lovely young lady with.
I really liked a lot of what she did too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's like great shit. She actually had talent.
She was very talented, dude. I mean, it's really sad when you see those people who are like in the spotlight or whatever that who have some sort of addiction background to where it's like it's hard for them to perform or whatever.
Yeah, and that's how he starts it off with. He's talking about her, and he's just like, I was there, and I just felt like I could have done something, but I didn't, and so on and so forth. And so yeah, it's really good, and like you see him not be the Russell Brand everyone has the idea
like paints him as
the sexy scarecrow guy. Get him to the Greek dude.
Yeah,
to see him being like a serious, actual human being.
I've heard he's a nice guy. It's just that like the only time I ever saw him was like in a couple bad movies, so I didn't really.
Yeah.
I really liked him in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
He is probably my favorite character out of that movie. I mean, Jason Segel really did a justice for him. I mean, I think he kind of like put his name more out there.
I have the actual script and I read it. One of the copies of the script, because like I said, I had the screenplay collection, and in it, Aldous Snow was just an English writer.
Yeah.
And he specifically noted that he was working on an American accent so that he could cross over America and so on and so forth. And then like Russell Brand auditioned for it, and they're like, no, we're going with him. We're going with this kooky weird guy because it's just gonna explain she's a hot actress chick. Of course, she's gonna date a rock star at some point in time.
And Get Him to the Greek was also just like a really, really good kind of follow up to like that character too.
Exactly, and it's a good logical step, and it's one of the great things about like classic comedies. That's considered a classic now, which is so many things are. But to me, it is because like in classic comedies, like say like starting back with like like Porky's and all that shit, is that not shit, but there's actual darkness in it. Because he's a drug addict and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And but like in Porky's, you deal with racism, homophobia, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 16-minute mark, statutory rape, and teenage pregnancy.
Yeah.
But everyone just remembers what's her name coming out of the pool, and while who was it, Judge Reinhold, just jacking off.
Yeah.
And not just that, like movies like that, like the freaking like older movies like Breakfast at Tiffany's, like people were like, oh. Audrey Hepburn, blah blah blah, or Katharine Hepburn, one of the Hepburns.
Yeah.
She's so classy in that, and like she's a call girl, right? And the dude that she's with is like like a freaking gigolo. Yeah. No one really remembers that.
No one remembers the depth of the movie. They just remember the actors.
No one
and the
remembers
faces.
Mickey Rooney being in Yellowface as a name. Was it Mickey Rooney? Anyways, I haven't seen that movie.
It's been a while.
But yeah, like I said, it's like I said, you get to see Russell Brand being an actual human being, and that kind of leads us into something like we want to talk about. Let's just focus. We're going to focus on comedy this episode because this is one of the main things that we're all into.
Yeah, I mean it's
watching it, and I
think like growing up for me, it was like some of the most important movies to me, even now, were comedies. And now that I bring that up, what was your guys like? The one comedy you remember, like, that defines comedy for you? Like, it's like, this is the first movie that actually, like, made me laugh or brought some sort of humor.
I'm going to have to think about it a little bit. You guys go ahead.
It would... I have no...
Dude, for me...
I have to think really far back.
It was Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I was going to say
that is seriously even to this day, like Dumb and Dumber is one of my favorite movies. Like I still watch it and laugh.
Yeah, it's still funny.
I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't understand a lot of the jokes.
Exactly, isn't that like a cool thing? Like growing up.
But Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels were just so funny naturally. You know what I mean? And it's like
they were a good team.
They were a great team, dude. And you look back at that, and it's like, why aren't movies as funny as
like
this?
And they have like, there's physical gags and everything, but they have actual jokes. Like every quotable line in that movie is actually like well written, quotable lines.
Yeah, very well
And that's
written.
the difference between then and now. Is that back then it was actually written, as opposed to now it's
everything
improvised.
is like
Every actor is trying to be the scene stealer.
Yeah, and then it's like everything's very topical too, or they're trying to relate to something.
Like the end of Ted, whenever they reference Superman Returns, and like we're making fun of Brandon Routh.
Yeah,
and I'm like that's dated like 2 years ago already.
Yeah,
but
Ted was really great.
I didn't. I mean, Ted.
I liked the part with like where they're talking about Flash Gordon.
Yeah, that's the same.
Or he's at the party and he's like, dude, Flash is here right now. And Mark Wahlberg's character.
His hair is parted in the middle.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg. I mean, Ted wasn't a decent. It was a decent movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was all right.
To me, also, I think that Ted was like the closest to Mark Wahlberg's actual personality.
I mean, I like seeing Mark Wahlberg in comedies. Like when I saw the other guys.
Yeah.
With him and Will
The thing that
Ferrell.
bothers me about the other guys though is that he's playing pretty much the same guy he played in Departed, but now he's playing him like he's 5.
Yeah. It's God, I could talk about that.
Yeah,
Your turn, Adam.
For my movies, I was gonna say it would have had to have been some Jim Carrey movie somewhere along the lines.
Okay.
Mask.
Mask.
You guys just
Mask.
Mask was a.
I
Dude,
love the Mask.
Yeah.
I remember, dude. Growing up too, we didn't have Netflix or shit like that. We always had like, either you have it on VHS or you
Cable was the Netflix.
or you go rent it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Renting movies was always such like a exciting part of my weekend.
Yeah, it's one of the highlights from when I was little.
It's like you could go to you could go to Blockbuster.
Yeah, going
and you
to the
get to pick
Blockbuster
out. Your parents are like, okay, we're gonna get a movie, and you can pick out a movie that you guys want to watch. So it'd be me and my younger brother, or me and my sister. We'd all walk around
It was the same,
Blockbuster.
dude. Growing up, I was the person who always picked the movies because, like, everyone just, even back then, everyone just liked my taste.
Yeah.
Because of that, I saw, Pulp Fiction and Natural Born Killers in theaters.
Huh.
My parents took me to see those because they're like, it's just a movie. It's not.
Yeah, well, that's basically how my parents were. They'd take me to see whatever because they knew I was smart enough not to like try to imitate anything that was going on.
Exactly. Like you did imitate things, but like it's kind of obvious you don't imitate, setting a house on fire.
Yeah. But like I just remember going into like the Blockbusters and then what was it called like Family Video or whatever.
Family Video, and there was Hollywood Video.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I was going in there and then like we just walk around the store and I'd usually pick out the weirdest, most like obscure like horror movies because I just thought the cover looks amazing. Let's get
That
this one.
is like what like kids I think base a lot of their interest off of is like if the cover looks cool.
Because I was like this cover scary. Let's get this one.
Yeah.
And I was like probably like 5, 6, maybe 7.
Yeah.
And I remember they also had like a video game section. And that's where me and my brother used to rent a lot of video games for like old Sega Genesis and stuff.
Oh,
that was
dude.
pretty fun.
That
I miss those.
Those were the days, man. Like going to Blockbuster and being able to pick out like movies or video games or whatever that you've never seen before, and it's.
Yeah.
I miss that so much. Like I wish that was still like relevant.
But that reminds me, though, what you said about the posters thing is that a while ago, one of my cousins was here from Mexico, and it was around October, and she and her, girlfriend who lived here, they wanted to see a horror movie, and they asked me, what was playing, and I told them, and what they were looking for, or what I recommended to them that was out, wasn't playing at the theater that they went to, so they're like, oh, let's look at the posters and see which one looks scary. They saw Jackass 2 just because it had the skull and crosscrutches. They thought it was a horror movie.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's pretty funny because they didn't have they're getting the answers to the questions of Jackass 1. They didn't get the whole story.
I mean, speaking about Jackass and stuff,
yeah,
that is probably the most I've ever laughed watching a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. All 3 of those movies were just like...
Yeah.
It's so messed up and
it's
so
to
just
me,
watching other people in pain I think is just funny to me. I mean, I think it's with everybody too. It's
not
like
me.
You sadist?
You
kind of a sadist?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everyone is a sadist.
Yeah.
But no, like it's just funny if you watch those movies back to back. At least for me, the one that still holds up is the first one. And it's weird too because like I got a lot of like a lot of style, like, fashion wise, from Johnny Knoxville because he just wore whatever the fuck he wanted.
He doesn't get. If you, exactly. I think in Jackass 2, he's actually wearing like a Come and Go.
Yeah,
t-shirt.
he wore a Come and Go T-shirt. And that's how I found out about Come and Go. I was like, what the hell is that?
I used to actually work there for a little bit.
So did I.
And people would come in from out of town, and they would just be like, "Are you serious? Is this really a place?" You know, they'd be like, "Do you guys have any like
Johnny Knoxville memorabilia?
Do you have any like T-shirts or whatever?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, we have some T-shirts over there and shot glasses and stuff." But I would usually always give people like a matchbook because
it's like White Castle after Harold Kumar came out. Yeah, I'm sure they got a ton of business out of that movie.
Totally.
Dude, at the premiere, the White Castle catered the event.
They did?
Yeah, there's pictures of like every star taking a bite out of a White Castle.
That's amazing.
I've never been to like White Castle at all before, but I've eaten.
I've never had their burgers.
I've had the frozen burgers that have at Walmart.
I want to try those.
Those are badass.
I've heard they're really good.
They are really good.
My mom's joking they're just burgers, and then I heard everybody else, "Oh my god, it's the best burgers in the world." I'm like,
yeah.
My little brother and my dad. My brother played hockey. Back in the day, and I guess his team went to state or some sort of championship game, and it was in Chicago, and they got to go to like a White Castle out there. My brother said he ate like 15 or something burgers, and he's like, dude, it was so good because we grew up.
Then you get the shits.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
We always grew up just buying a lot of frozen.
Like
foods,
microwavable food.
And I don't know. For some reason, I always thought like tiny burgers were so cool when I was a kid.
They are.
I don't know. Like I used to watch SpongeBob every single morning. Every single morning before school, and we used to eat these little tiny breakfast sandwiches. It was like a little bit, and
Krabby Patties.
I'm eating a Krabby Patty. Did you
know I think they actually have like pretty patties now. Like they look like I've seen them before at Walmart, but they look like I don't know if they're ice cream bars or what. But they look like hamburgers, but they're colored. I'm like pretty patties. Because remember the episode where he's like they dye the hamburger, the Krabby Patties, and they start selling them off as pretty patties.
Yeah,
dude, that show is so funny. Like, I mean, I haven't watched it lately. I don't know, but I used to have. This sounds so silly, but we used to have like watch parties.
Yeah.
For like SpongeBob and shit.
Yeah, I never had a watch party for anything really. Well, if you don't count movies, like
I just love SpongeBob so much because it was just like so freaking.
The first time I ever heard the concept of a watch party was in high school, and like someone was talking about their OC watch party.
Oh god, the OC. I had a girlfriend when I was in high school who like. Made me watch a bunch of that. Oh my god, the show was so stupid.
That show introduced us to Chris Pratt.
That's right.
That's Chris probably Pratt. The only good thing about that show.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. Also, Olivia Wilde.
What was that other like? Oh gosh, what's her name? She's that really little mousy kind of chick.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember her name either.
No, I was about to say Mila Kunis, but it's not Mila Kunis.
No,
it's she's got really big, pretty eyes, and she's like.
I ain't talking about like.
She was in that movie with Zach Braff, The Last Kiss.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Which The Last Kiss was actually a remake, I think, of a French film or whatever, and it was called Loti Mobacho.
Yeah.
But that movie is. I was a big fan of Zach Braff after I saw Garden State. You know what I mean? Like any hipster or whatever at that age.
This movie speaks to me.
Yeah. Dude, it was such a good movie, man. Like Natalie Portman. I mean, the first time I was introduced to her was in.
Have you seen his new one? The one that he like crowdfunded it or whatever, Indiegogo'd, whatever.
I haven't heard anything about that.
No.
I saw it. It's pretty okay, and the best thing about it probably to me is Josh Gad bones Ashley Greene in it, pretty graphically. There's no nudity. It's just like it's a funny scene.
Yeah.
But the moment that it happens is kind of a sad one.
I mean, speaking about comedy and all that stuff, right now, if you were to say this is the best comedy on TV right now, what would it be? I mean, because looking back in the past, 10, 20 years, I mean, there are countless comedies,
sitcoms
that were just on TV that were so funny.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like The Office and Parks and Rec were a couple of my favorite shows, like growing up, or not growing up, well, just going through high school. And right now, I just started watching Silicon Valley.
I heard about that. I want to see it.
Yeah, I remember you saying something about that. Check it out.
It's a Mike Judge show. Mike Judge.
Oh yeah, we talked about it last
time. If you don't know, he did King of the Hill, Office Space,
Beavis and
Butthead. I mean, he created so many cult classics. And this TV show literally like makes me laugh out loud. Like I have to like rewatch some parts sometimes because I'm like, that was so funny. I gotta watch that again. I mean,
honestly, not that. It takes a lot for me to laugh.
That same for me too.
Or at least
like that's
watching movies and shows.
But I'm saying that's one of those shows that really makes me laugh. I mean, there's some things where you kind of chuckle under your breath, or you're kind of just like, okay, that was funny.
Who do you think's the best actor in that show?
T.J. Miller.
Oh yeah, T.J. Miller's really good.
T.J. Miller is seriously probably one of the most naturally funny people I've ever. Because he does.
Even in like Cloverfield, he didn't do that much, but you could tell exactly the type of guy he was.
I mean,
he's that kind of friend.
Watching his stand up or watching any interview he's on, dude. Oh my god, dude, he is seriously just one of the funniest. He does a lot of these interviews where he's on like the local news to wherever he's performing or whatever.
Yeah, I saw a few YouTube videos of that. Yeah.
And he always is just really goofy and crazy, and it's.
Because he's bored, he doesn't care at that
It's
moment.
like, man, I wish I was friends with him. It's like in what's 40 no, not 40, Knocked Up, where Seth Rogen is like talking about Vince Vaughn, and he's like, I feel like we would really get along if we were friends. That's how I feel about T.J. Miller. Like, I feel like, oh man, I just like that guy so much. He's so naturally funny to me, and there's not much of that around anymore. I mean.
But like, I was gonna say that like just like Rudy was saying, I don't watch TV that much anymore. I mean, there are only like a handful of shows I watch. But like, in live action terms, like probably one of the funniest shows I've seen in the past like decade. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh my god!
I love that show.
That's a phenomenal. I mean,
just some of the funniest episodes I think are the ones where they're trying to green light that reboot of Lethal Weapon.
Yes,
it's really bad.
I love their whole recreation of that too. It's like I think they did like the Lethal Weapon 6.
Yeah.
Where they like change roles like halfway through. And one's Murdoch and then the other one.
To me though, like the thing about It's Always Sunny is that like in like the first 2 seasons, like when they were like being like total pieces of shit,
it
was on accident.
I mean, they still are.
They still are.
It was explained, and it was kind of on accident. You see like the comedy of errors of it, right?
Yeah.
But then around season 3, all of a sudden, like everyone just started purposely going after each other and trying to piss each other off and insult each other, and so on and so forth. And I just don't like that kind of comedy. So I kind of like no.
Well, what a lot of people have been saying, it's like the Seinfeld on crack.
It's never ending.
Because
the short one I said I hate insult comedy.
They constantly make bad decisions. They constantly do really stupid shit, but they never learn from their mistakes.
Yeah.
And they keep. I mean,
they're normal Americans.
They are almost one of the longest running like live action. No, would it be considered?
Yeah, it's live action.
Yeah,
it's actual
live action shows on television.
Yeah.
The comedy wise.
I
mean, they are working on season 10 or 11 right now, and they've been picked up for like another 2 or so.
Damn.
But another really good show. It's on right now. It's on season 2. It's animated. Oh, actually, there's a couple. One's they're both on Adult Swim. One's Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty is badass.
You need to watch. If you haven't watched Rick and Morty, you need to watch Rick and Morty.
I've heard of it.
Dan Harmon, who did Community.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
It's his cartoon.
Cool.
It is. Oh man, dude.
It's amazing. It's kind of sort of like a parody of the Doc and Marty from Back to the Future.
But it's like
it's like a twisted parody of them, kind of.
I mean, speaking about kind of that stuff too, it's like, I mean, being introduced to adult cartoon kind of stuff. I mean, the first thing I can think of as like this is a cartoon, but it's more adult, was on Saturday Night Live when they did the ambiguously gay duo. I remember I never understood it, because I was like a kid then. But I remember watching Saturday Night Live with my dad, and my dad just like bursting out in laughter. I don't think I've ever seen my dad laugh that hard than when we were watching Saturday Night Live. And then Family Guy came out in like 99. Yeah, 99. I think 99 or whatever.
I can't believe it's that old.
Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. And Seth MacFarlane was like 24 or 25 when he started that show.
That's nuts.
It's like how old, basically all of it,
Continue.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, there's another one. I haven't watched a lot of it, but what I've watched so far has been amazing. It's BoJack Horseman.
Yes,
it's like a
I've heard of it.
It's like a parody of a parody of Hollywood kind of. And BoJack Horseman's like it's really hilarious, but it's like really dark at the same time because his life's terrible. He's like an old washed up actor. Like,
and he's a horse.
Yeah, he's a horse. They're all like animals. They're all like, because they're kind of portraying Hollywood as like a jungle and like everybody's there as an animal, but like BoJack, he's like a horse. He's like really he's like morbidly depressed and like he's like just
he's trying to get back
in the scene like and everything and everything I've watched on that so far has been amazing.
It's a really funny show. Will Arnett voices the horse. For the life of me, I can't think of. Alison Brie is a character on there. She was also on Community, and then Aaron Paul, who is Jesse Pinkman, on Breaking Bad, is like his roommate.
Yeah.
But dude, it's such a funny show, and it's like, it's so promising. It's like Netflix has actually got more comedies now. I mean, most of the shows they have out now are either are live action.
Yeah.
And any other cartoons they have are basically kids shit,
But I was gonna say another one. There's now back in like the early 2000s and like the 90s and the early 2000s. There were a lot of kid shows that had a lot of adult shit in it. Like, on Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, like
especially SpongeBob.
Like SpongeBob, like Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy was really big on that. Like Rocko's Modern Life.
Rocco, definitely. Oh my God, that is the most perverted show.
Yeah, he's a phone sex operator.
Dude, watching it now, it's like, I can't believe I watched this as a kid.
Him and Heifer are always like naked in each other's beds, like all the time, like. Another one that was like Courage the Cowardly Dog. It's marketed towards kids and it's a really goofy show, but it's really dark and there's a lot of like subtext going on. Like there's one show that's like straight up like if you read into it, it's straight up like it's like feminism and stuff, and they're talking about like how like female stereotypes and like all this other stuff, and like it's about like a dog who has like these. It's about like a dog who has like these two like a cat and like he has it's implied that he owns her, and it's implied that basically she's a prostitute and he's like her pimp, but like she's in probably more than just friends with another female bunny. They just call Bunny, and it's kind of implied that they're lesbians. But if you're a kid, you're not going to notice that.
Yeah.
But like Courage has to come in and like try to save her from like the pimp and everything, and it gets really dark. Like it's really
it's
crazy.
Funny. It's like kids are not going to notice this shit,
Yeah. But like I was going back to something you said before about like the French the film you're talking about,
the L'Ultimo Macho, The Last Kiss.
Speaking of French films, if you want to see an American movie get spoiled, just read the French posters. The French posters are so literal. They spoil things about the plot. Just look up French posters spoil American movie plots, and then like there'll be a list that pops up. And like things, they'll spoil the plot line. They're so blunt about spoiling the plot line when they translate it over to French that it's like, why even see the movie? Because like movies with like ambiguous titles, like because to make mysterious titles, and then they translate it over, and it's like the twist that we probably shouldn't have told you, blah blah blah. It would say the twist in the title. You're like, oh, this person dies in there, or somebody's going to die, even though this was marketed as a drama, even though it's actually kind of a thriller. Oh, that's really weird. I don't know why they decided to spoil that for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, also another thing though, you guys kind of skipped over my week.
Oh, what?
I didn't get to do my week.
Sorry, good.
It's basically the same as yours. I basically just worked all week.
Okay, then we're done with that. I'm kidding.
I worked all week. I played video games a lot. Of course.
Oh, okay.
But,
well, speaking of video games, since me and Rudy really aren't really up to date with whatever video games and crap like that. I mean, I'm not gonna call it crap, but
hey.
It's a general term.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like I have, like I told you the other day, the last game I ever bought was Call of Duty World at War, which is like 7 years ago.
And I cringed when you said that. I'm like,
oh man. And there's so many things that have come out since then. So maybe
just the past Sega Genesis.
Update us on like what games are really relevant right now, or like the most popular.
I don't know. I mean, if you want most popular, it's going to be Call of Duty and like Battlefield all the time.
Those
are always going to be popular.
Shitty games.
Those are terrible. They're awful.
It's really just this looks cool.
It's the same thing every year, and it's the same thing every year.
And it's not.
It's not like they pass it on. It's like realistic war simulator, and it's just like it's not.
But what's dumb about it? It's like. It's just whoever is best at the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like there's not really any. I mean, I guess there is a skill set to it.
There's a lot of like exploits.
It's not
you
fun
can do.
to play.
Like certain weapons are way more powerful than others, and people can like pay to get them too.
It's stupid. Sometimes. It's like because it's not fun to play those games because there's people out there who are just like it's one set kind of. It's like either you just got to be good at shooting people.
Either you're good or you die. That's basically what it is. There's really no learning curve.
It's not fun.
Notice I'm barely saying anything because I don't have a game.
I don't either. I mean,
but right now, like they're like, gosh, there's so many games I need to finish. But right now, there's the two ones I've been playing a lot. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5 a lot. And that's an amazing game so far. The entire series is amazing. I just love it. If you want video games, because a lot of people don't consider video games works of art, because it's for kids, it's just entertainment. But like, if you want to play a series of games that can be legitimately called art, play the Metal Gear series, because it's like it has so many like other influences. Like it's heavily influenced by movies because the guy who created the series, Hideo Kojima, he wanted to be. He was like you, like his parents would like go out and leave him by himself all the time, and he would watch. And he'd just sit in his apartment and watch movies. And like when his parents were at work.
Yeah.
And he'd do that all day. He didn't really have anywhere else to go because it was Japan. So because there's a lot of business types and they really want you to. It's really stuck up. But like you need to become a businessman and blah blah blah. But he didn't want to do that. He wanted to become a movie director because that's all he did. He would go in, watch a bunch of movies, and he loved movies. And eventually, it didn't quite work out the way he wanted to, but then he discovered Super Mario Brothers, and he's like, "This is an emerging art form." He's like, "Yeah, I can see this as art. Somebody put a lot of time and like imagination into this. So, like this is something I'd like to be able to get onto." And eventually, he created the. I think he did like a couple. I think he did maybe a couple small games that like weren't really that big at all. And then he came up with the idea of the Metal Gear series, and it's like all of his favorite like. Movies.
Wasn't like Saving Private Ryan one of the like?
I think that's one of the influences to it.
I have something to say about that, but continue.
Like he took all of his favorite movies, like influences from his favorite movies and favorite directors, and then he's also really into like philosophy and stuff. And a lot of his Metal Gear series, like there are like two major overarching themes, and one is like the nature of it's. Even though it's written by a Japanese guy, like he makes like it's largely about war. Basically, he paints because he has they have influence from
an actual realistic
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Feel to it.
Yeah, but it's also it's heavily like the ethics of war and just how war is just plain idiotic and one of the major themes is there's a group. There's a guy called Big Boss, and basically he's the world's that's his name. because there's a reason why he's named that, but like it's really complicated. But like he's the greatest soldier who ever lived, and he breaks away from the United States because they betray him, because like they trick him and they basically trick him into killing his mentor. They say that his mentor is was betraying the country, and she was working. It was in the Soviet. It was during like the 60s, and she was working with the Soviet Union, trying to like give them hand them off nuclear secrets and everything. And he basically gets tricked into finding her, and he has to fight her and kill her. And then he realizes that he was lied to, and she was actually trying to help the United States. She was sent on a mission. She was an operative trying to help the United States, like get information on the Soviets. But she had to play it off like she was a traitor, so no one would know. And he basically becomes really like they betray him, and he basically becomes really embittered. And it's basically he's like he's like the most important character. There are other main characters, but he's the most important character because his influence goes throughout the entire series. And he basically wants to build a world where a world without politics, where there aren't any governments to manipulate soldiers anymore. He wants to build a nation for soldiers by soldiers, and he calls it Outer Heaven, because it's not heaven, it's not hell. It's like their own intermingling of heaven and hell, but it's largely about like the treatment of soldiers and how soldiers are mistreated by the governments that control them. Yeah. And so there's a lot of like PTSD and stuff that pops up, and like a lot of like and it's also, not only does it have dark themes, it's also really zany. It's good. It kind of goes in line with the comedy aspect of this episode, because it's some of the funniest, most like irreverent jokes you'll ever see in like a video game ever are in this series. Like it's a stealth series, so a lot of it involves like sneaking into bases and stuff. And you can go like prone and crawl around and like duck and cover. But the camera, when you're going prone, sometimes you're like, it's zooming awfully close to this guy's ass as I'm going prone. It's that kind of humor. He kind of just zooms in close for no reason, or you'll hide in a closet and there'll be like a picture of a hot girl, like a poster on the closet door, and like he'll be looking at it as you're like hiding in the closet. And then I don't know, it's just funny. And like you can there's this thing where you can radio into base. And like there's like a radio pop-up where it's like his face and like the CEO, like the commanding officer's face, and they're talking to each other. And like if you're and there's like, and you can like if you're looking at the poster, you can see that he's kind of bobbing up and down as he's looking, like as he's talking to his boss. He's like, "What, Snake?" Because the main character's name's Snake. Yeah. He's like, "Snake, what are you doing?" He's like, I wasn't doing anything." But like you can tell that he was probably jerking it to that poster, like as he's trying to talk to his boss. Yeah. But like and then one of the other themes though is like a lot of it has to do with like identity and stuff, because it's kind of a complicated story, but there are two main characters in the series: Big Boss and Solid Snake. Solid Snake is basically Big Boss's clone. He's a government backed clone of Big Boss, because Big Boss died. And then, like, he was the greatest soldier that ever lived. They didn't want.
Spoiler.
They didn't like. I put in quotation marks.
Yeah, but they can't see that.
but just play the series. If you haven't played the series, it's one of the most cinematic and like beautiful and hilarious, and like it can even be downright horrifying at times, because like because like it deals a lot with like government secrets and like super soldiers and stuff. Some of them, like they're like psychics, and like a dude who's seemingly a vampire, who's like every time you shoot him, he like somehow regenerates, like the wounds heal up and the bullets fall out, and you're like, what the hell's going on? But like there's it's kind of like, it is kind of like M. Night Shyamalan, where there's always some kind of crazy twist at the end. Like a character you thought was going to be was working for this person, you realize, wait, they were doing this the entire time, and that's why this was happening. It's a really great series. But Metal Gear Solid 5 just came out a couple, was it the first? I think it just came out the first. I've been playing that like almost non-stop. And it's like the last game of the series, because the guy who made it, him and the game company kind of had a falling out, so they no longer want him to be like, and he moved him to be with the company, and he's like, okay, fuck you, and then he walked out. But it's the last game that he's going to make in the series, but they're probably going to make some other games without him, and they're probably going to be awful. They're going to be terrible. But like, if you want a cinematic game, if you're into movies or just philosophy and like art, or just a really heartfelt, like thoughtful game, play the Metal Gear series. They're just about every one of them are amazing. There are a few that were kind of directed by other guys, because like side games are kind of like,
Who produced those games?
And now for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Was it Ubisoft?
Yeah, and then it wasn't Ubisoft. You're thinking of Splinter Cell. It was Konami. Konami does a lot of these games.
Well, I used to work at a wine and spirits a couple years back, and there was a guy that came in and he produced a lot of the Metal Gear Solid games. I'm not sure if it's Metal Gear. Name some other war games besides Call of Duty and Splinter Cell.
Like there's Splinter Cell, there's Metal Gear Solid, there's like Battlefield, there's like
some of the earlier ones. I'm pretty sure
they're like Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
That is the one that I was thinking of. There was a guy that used to come into that liquor store, and he brought that game to life. Like, he gathered up a team, he produced it, all that stuff, and he was telling me he used to have meetings with Spielberg.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Steven Spielberg made those.
Yeah, he did. He produced a lot of came up with a lot of the content or whatever. And he told me he used to go out and have a lunch and dinner and stuff with Steven Spielberg when they were trying to make this movie.
That's badass.
And he said a lot of that stuff happened here in Tulsa.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And he said a lot of those people have branched off, and they've created a lot of the Call of Duty games and are produced and worked on those. And I was like, that guy, I forget his website. He used to tell me, he's like, this is my main website, and I produce video games and TV shows and stuff like that. And he lives here in town. And I was like, oh god, I was getting that confused.
Yeah, with Metal Gear.
Because it's kind of, they sound
similar. But there's another one.
Medal of Honor, but it was just so cool that he was telling me, Dan Aykroyd too is a close friend of his. I'm like,
that's badass.
I'm like, that's so cool, dude. Like, and he always would tell me these stories where he would go out to dinner or whatever with these guys, and he would tell me stories of like, what they would do, and I was like, that's so cool that you, like, I know you, like, can I shake your hand, like in
the other game that I've been playing a lot lately, it's kind of like it's like a simple, it's almost like app game quality kind of. It's like a card game called Hearthstone. You know what World of Warcraft is, right?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like a spin-off. I don't really.
What do they call it?
Well, it's not an MMO or anything. It's like
MMOP or whatever.
RPG, but it's not one of those. But it's like a card game kind of, like you're playing against other people through the internet. It's kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh. But it's like
but it's online.
It's like a Warcraft version of the Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
It's like a Warcraft based card game. I've played that a lot. That's pretty fun. But what I really wanted to talk about though, in like game wise, is I'm so excited about this. Earlier this week, I think it was earlier this week, might have been late last week, but they released a trailer. It's going to sound really, I don't know how big you guys are on Pokemon, but I'm obsessed with Pokemon.
I used to be.
I'm obsessed with Pokemon. I've loved it since it came out, and I haven't stopped.
Man, that was like one thing that I used to do, like every weekend. Is like, I would save up whatever money I'd get from allowance, and I'd go buy Pokemon cards.
But like, they released. It's going to be an app. It's going to be an app game, but it actually looks like it's going to be a good app game. It's because it's actually being sponsored by the Nintendo company. They're actually like the head dudes of who are involved with heavily involved with the Pokemon franchise are working on it. So it's not like just let's make the stupid app game and get some money. It's going to be called Pokemon Go, and it's like augmented reality.
Oh yes, I've seen that.
Like, it's like they're going to be actually like your phone is going to actually be able to pick up like images of Pokemon in actual locations in the real world.
Oh, that's awesome. And
you can actually fight them and catch them, and you can battle other people, and they're going to be like events. Like the trailer they showed. I mean, it was a dramatization, but like just the idea of what they were like putting forth. Like I brought a tear to my eye. I'm like, oh, it's really happening. Pokemon are real. But like,
you're still kind of using your imagination.
Yeah, but it was like, this is beautiful. I was like, oh my god, this is. I was geeking out the whole entire time. Like, oh my god, this is amazing. But like,
that's cool. They should do that for like other kinds of
games. Like it's use your phone in like actual real life locations. They'll be like Pokemon. Your phone will detect them and everything, and you can catch them and stuff. And every now and then you'll get like a warning for like a special like event going on in a location near you. Mm-hmm. Like say you're in Times Square and like you're walking around and your phone goes off and it says like special like Mewtwo event in Times Square, and like you can then all of a sudden everybody else in that area who gets the same message can they can all meet up in Times Square and then wait for the countdown to go down for like the event, and like you can like probably catch rare Pokemon, like get rare items and stuff. And then like there's an extra device that you have to pay for, obviously, but it's like an extra thing that goes along with it. It's like a little clip, kind of like
it goes on your shirt.
It goes on your shirt, and what it does is it'll vibrate if your phone's not turned on. It'll vibrate whenever there's a Pokemon near. Yeah. So if you have your phone, if you have your phone turned off, this thing will start vibrating, and it'll like, oh shit, there's something coming. So you flip your phone out and turn it on.
To me, that'd be like that kind of technology would be cooler for like a superhero game or something.
Yeah,
then, you could go around and and also it'd be funny to be like hilarious with it too, because then like the crack in the planet that you have to stop from happening would start at like a liquor store down the street or something like that. So basically, you're living.
So do you have to like travel the world to actually find all these?
No, they'll be like.
Obviously, that'd be like the rich people option.
They'll be all over the place in like the general area, like all over the place. Like in certain, like I'm sure, but they did this thing. Like I think it was earlier this year. Mm-hmm. Like the Pokemon Company and Google did this thing with Google Maps that a lot of people now, since they released the trailer for Pokemon Go, think was kind of like a beta test for Pokemon Go, because they did this thing where for like a day, I think it was for the anniversary of Pokemon, because it's like
might have been,
but like for the anniversary for like a day, they had this thing where they Google Maps. There are random locations around the world. But like at like monuments and stuff, where you can like zoom in on the map and there'd be like a Pokemon on the monument, and they challenged you to like find them all, and then you'd get like something cool.
That's awesome.
And a lot of people were thinking that was like them kind of sort of beta testing the idea of Pokemon Go with like augmented reality and like and having them in actual real life locations. Then but yeah, I'm really excited about that. And back to like my week and everything. I went off on a tangent about video games, which was kind of sort of what I did for my week.
Yeah.
But
we kind of just wanted to put that out there because me and Rudy.
We wanted to do like because like I know video games and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. I saw a movie. I saw The Visit at the Warren Theater.
Oh, I want to check that out. How was that?
It's a really, really good movie. I love that movie. It's actually the first M. Night Shyamalan movie in a while that I've really liked. Like legitimately liked. You didn't know. You
probably said you could probably said the same for every single person who ever saw it.
Like yeah, but
I remember sorry to cut you off, but just
that's cool.
Story. I remember whenever the trailer for that Stuck in an Elevator movie called Devil came out, and like there was a crowd reaction like put on YouTube like the day of or something like that. And like it's showing the trailer, and then the second M. Night Shyamalan's name comes on screen, the entire crowd goes, "Oh!" Because you can tell by the reaction of the crowd that they all thought it was cool and like it looked good, but then like all of a sudden his name popped up and like, "Oh, damn it!"
But like that's what a lot of people. That's what a lot of what happened, because a lot of people that I've talked to or that I've heard that saw it say that whenever they saw it, it wasn't a really big crowd inside there.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of people wanting to go see it. But it was actually a lot better. It was a lot better than like this past 3 or 4 movies.
Yeah.
It was like the twist. I wasn't expecting it at all. Like the twist came up and everybody was like, "What the fuck? Oh my god!" it was really good. Like, just what really it was actually it was really self-referential too. He kind of references like his like. There are things that pop up. You're like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be just another M. Night Shyamalan plotline, isn't it? It's gonna be something like Alien. It's gonna be something like it's gonna be something supernatural or something, isn't it? And then it's like a red herring where they're like, nope, it's that. And then they're like, oh okay. And then like But like they do that all throughout the movie. Where like you do think this is what it's going to be revealed as, and you're about to get disappointed by it, and then like you're like, no, wait, no, it's not actually what happened.
That's actually good.
Yeah, and then but it's actually it's really scary at points. It's really hilarious at points. It's cool, and the acting's really solid acting. Like the characters, the two main characters are the kids, right? Mm-hmm. The kids, they actually behave like actual kids. They're not like stereotypes. They behave like you would think my brother and sister would behave as.
Yeah.
And the grandparents are great. The mom's great. Like those are like the main. Then there's like their stepdad. He's really good too, but he's not really a lot of shots. But like it's a really good movie. I love the movie. It's also really disgusting in some parts. It gets to like you're like oh, and you're like it just gets downright like oh my god, did they really just do that in the movie? It gets really like that ties in kind of into both the horror and the comedy aspect of it. But it was a really great movie. I came out of there really enjoying that movie.
That's awesome.
And now I came out kind of afraid of old people too. Like the second because I saw it with my brother. The second we walked out of the theater, we just saw old people everywhere. Like oh my god.
No. Yeah.
See the last M. Night Shyamalan, I don't ever know how to say that guy's fucking last name. But the last of his movies that I really enjoyed was Lady in the Water. I'm not sure why, but I just liked the whole idea behind it. I think
that's
more
kind of
so.
the point when everyone officially turned on him.
I know, but I don't know why. It's like, I mean, it was.
Know why?
It was a while back.
That's why.
Paul Giamatti, and there was that one guy in there that had like the one gigantic muscular arm,
the jerk off arm.
The jerk off arm.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just really liked that movie. It was just kind of just like all these people in a hotel. It was mysterious, and then some chick just walks out of the fucking pool, and, you know. I don't know why I liked it so much, but I mean, that's... And then Sixth Sense, I mean, that's a classic.
Sixth Sense, like Unbreakable. I mean, I like Signs. There were things. There were things.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah,
did you ever see? Did I show you the Patton Oswalt pitch for the trilogy or whatever?
Yeah, that's a really good pitch.
I'm
Unbreakable. I mean, like I know it's like he could have done more with the whole idea.
And he's actually kind of like thinking about it like last time he was...
Yeah, I watched a thing too, or I read something on Twitter where he commented on Patton Oswalt's pitch or whatever that he had. And he's like, I don't know, maybe it'll happen, or he said something along those lines. Yeah. I'm like, man, dude. I mean, especially right now where like superhero movies and stuff are so like popular.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be no problem.
And not only that, now that like dark, gritty superhero movies are like the mainstream now.
Exactly, and like Unbreakable came out at a time whenever dark and gritty wasn't the thing.
Yeah, and like Bruce Willis really needs a good movie to be there.
Well, like
the last Die Hard was, I don't even like want to think about it. I thought it was just terrible.
Good Day to Die Hard. Yeah.
Good Day to
Jump the Shark.
And then he was he in Expendables?
Who?
Bruce Willis?
Yeah. Everybody's in Expendables.
Everybody's in Expendables.
Even Antonio Banderas.
I mean, Bruce Willis, to me, he's like one of my favorite actors. Like, I loved the first the first three Die Hards are, I would say, some of my favorite movies.
I really like the...
I like him as the action star, you know?
Anyway, so it looks like we kind of ran
out of steam
on that conversation. But anyways, no, getting back to the question that I didn't get to ask, so we're kind of going on a lot of good tangents.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
I'm just glad Adam was able to talk about video games because...
That's like your main thing, and you haven't been able to say that twice.
That's the only reason I'm here.
You can leave now.
The mission is done.
Yeah, you're
anyway,
good to go.
No, but to answer the question, the main movie that solidified a lot of things in my life. It's gonna sound weird, obviously, but I say a lot of weird things, so deal with it, people. Was The Mask. And particularly because of The Mask, like, I really, because back then, like, I was like, how old was I? I think I was like
95, 96 when that came out.
I was like 9 in the area, 10.
Yeah, well,
maybe younger. But anyways, other than that, the young age frame, like, I lived a very specific life, and I didn't have a very good image of myself because of it. So, I consider myself shy, and to me, like, Stanley Ipkiss, I was Stanley Ipkiss, the main, the identifying thing, just like, loser. He's kind of like Peter Parker, where, like, things are really going well, he's trying to get the girl, and she's like, oh, I'm over here with this douchebag, blah, 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 all that stuff.
Something happens.
He just can't be cool. He can't be, like, the guy that she desires.
He's literally, like, rifling through garbage, at the end of the first act, he finds the mask. And then, he just, the whole time, he's just kind of, like, beat down at the, in the first act of the movie, and then he finds the mask, and everything he's always wanted to be comes out, Yeah. And I just wanted to find that in my life. I wanted to find the thing that brought out who I believed I was, because that's the main thing for me about constant through my whole life is, like, trying to find, not only, like, a solid identity, but, like, to me, my ultimate individuality.
I think a lot of people are like that too. It's like they try, when they watch certain things, they try to find somebody who's they can relate to.
Exactly, and it's hard now because whatever. But no, and so because of that, I really like Jim Carrey. How extroverted he was. So I didn't see myself as extroverted. I saw myself as really introverted, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. So from then on, like, and seeing Ace Ventura and Liar Liar, all the movies he came out with.
So good.
Exactly.
He's kind of like Adam Sandler in that sense, to where.
Yeah, but he's better than Adam Sandler.
Yeah. Adam Sandler, I mean, like, he hasn't really done anything great.
I like Little Nicky, and then I kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Funny People. Have you seen that?
Yes. Yes.
That is a phenomenal movie. I love that movie so much. Mm-hmm. I thought it was such a good thing.
Yeah, the last like pure Adam Sandler movie that that came out to me was Click.
Oh yeah,
that was a really good movie too. Okay, sorry, we're breaking off on a tangent again.
But yeah, so to me, like, I really wanted to become extroverted, right? And so like I started, imitating him and doing extroverted things and getting loud and getting obnoxious and actually saying what's on my mind and stuff, which was a really bad idea if you come from a fucking Mexican cafe. And so my father kind of literally beat that out of me, and so. From there I moved on, and because watching other movies, and then I was trying to find other comedic things to get me through my day, and so then I discovered Bill Murray and Steve Martin and Chevy Chase. So after that I kind of focused on the deadpan straight man kind of thing. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but that's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like constantly saying like, how do you say that without a totally straight face?
Well, that's what happens. That's what used to happen to me a lot at school. Yeah. Like I would make some kind of comment about something that like I wanted it to be funny, but I didn't react to what I was saying. I didn't play it off like it was funny, and then everybody else would be cracking up, and they're like, Adam, how are you not laughing at that? Like I remember I made a comment about the. Was it the terrible pizza they served in the cafeteria or something? Oh my God! I don't remember. I said it like tasted like cinnamon or something. Like, but I didn't say anything. Like I just picked up. I'm like, why does this taste like cinnamon? I just said it like that, and everybody else is cracking up around me. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I just noticed something.
Just, you guys kind of said it. Like, me and you went to the same high school.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, there was this one time where on the menu, usually they had like pizza or like a sandwich, or you could get chicken fingers. Or just whatever was on the menu.
Well, whatever gross thing they had.
And they had one meal they had was like, it was like hamburgers and French fries. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. So I got a hamburger, I put all this shit on it. I took a bite, and I remember immediately going, like, spitting it out, because they used the meatloaf from the two previous days before to make the hamburgers.
Oh my God.
So it tasted like meatloaf, but I had all the cheeseburger fixings on it. I'm like, how fucking lazy are you?
No, like, they're just trying to get rid of it.
They're recycling, dude.
But it's terrible. It's like, don't, at least just say, okay, we're having meatloaf again.
Yeah. But in a bun.
But, oh my God, it was so bad,
so
dude.
It's different, yeah.
I mean, but dude, like, probably all 4 years of high school, I probably ate chicken fingers every single day because it was the only like at least bearable thing that you'd be able to eat.
Totally understand.
Like back to the deadpan thing. Even at work, sometimes I'll say something to the customer, and the customer will start laughing, but I'll just continue on like it's nothing. Like I'll just continue doing my work.
No, specifically, this happened recently when I was at work. No, it's just that like, it's funny how like people's perception of you like changes how they think and interact with you.
So as more they get to know you.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
It's fascinating to me my whole life because like I'm at work, and so I'm not really like in the wanting to be funny mode. I'm like in work mode. So I'm just trying to get through this day. I'm just trying to make my money, right? And so I'm not really joking around all too much and so on and so forth. I mean, you're a hot girl, and and so it was like a dead time, and then one of the guys was kind of messing around with me and joking, and I forget what I said, but he said something. He's like, "That's what your mom said last night." And I'm like, "Oh, you're saying that you did my mom last night? That's what you're going for?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, good. Well, she deserves that because my mother is a wonderful woman." And that was the loudest that guy had, and longest that guy had ever laughed at anything I ever said. And like everyone just kind of like looked over in our direction and like, what did he say? Well, he literally repeated what I said verbatim, and they're like, that's not funny. That's just kind of weird. And he's like, no, dude, but just how calm and quick he was about it, just like the nonchalantness of it. And
what's really funny about you guys talking about this? It's always the exact opposite for me. I'll be in a group of people where I try to make a joke,
and
nobody laughs. Either it goes over their head, or I'm like, and then I try to like, I'm like, that was funny though. Like I'm sitting there in my mind, like trying to convince myself, like, that was hilarious. Why aren't you laughing? But I think it's like, I become really comfortable with people even if I don't know them at all, and I'll try to make a joke.
Yeah.
And since you don't know me or my sense of humor, people are just like,
get the fuck out of here. Who the hell are you?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing it was, because like whenever I was the specific job I'm talking about it, I was like, I don't know, like 2 weeks into the job, and we were doing closing duties, and it was slow obviously, so we were just doing some closing duties, and we were talking about movies, of course, because I was there.
Yeah.
And Snowpiercer came up, and they're like, someone who hadn't seen it was like, "What's Snowpiercer?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a movie based on a French comic. The comic's better." They made the movie different than the comic, but that movie's now. That's pretty much what I said verbatim.
Yeah, you said that. You talked about that last week.
Yeah, I did. Damn, I don't want to be repetitive, but she.
Well, I know.
The girl I was talking to.
You brought up Snowpiercer,
like for like a split second.
Okay, well then this is me. Anyways.
Yeah, fuck you guys. I'm just kidding.
So no, she's like literally. She's just like, she literally after I said like verbatim those words, she's like, "That's so weird. Why do you say such weird things?" I'm like, "Wait, what? What did I say that was weird?" And she said literally what I said. I'm like, that's just a statement of fact. That isn't weird. What the fuck is wrong with you,
dude? People are so.
Yeah. No, she was a rich bitch.
Yeah.
I learned after a while.
You find working public that no matter how weird you think you are, the general public are probably just weirder.
The main thing that I learned.
It's weird that you don't know what I'm talking about, bitch.
The main thing that I learned living my life was that everybody is fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's just that I don't fucking hide it, and everyone else does. And it pisses me off.
Don't be ashamed to be weird.
No.
Don't ever be ashamed to be weird. Be unique in your own way.
Josh Whedon said the thing that makes you the weirdest probably makes you the strongest.
Dude, I am one weird motherfucker. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Same.
I don't have very many friends. You guys are my only friends. And
yeah, I don't have that. I mean, I'm pretty weird too.
I mean, like,
I try not to think about it, but like usually people are like you're weird. But like, I usually feel pretty awkward around people.
I always take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
If someone tells me I'm weird or you're, it's like, that was weird.
But like, I don't have.
Thank you. It's like
that means I'm not like you and everyone else on the fucking planet.
Everybody else tries to, like you said, everybody else tries to hide that fact.
That's the thing.
About
like
them.
America is like embracing, constantly bashing, like, or not bashing, but
bashing differences
into your head about like embracing individuality, or at least American society is. But you know what? It fucking isn't. everybody wants you to be the same.
Yes.
Just around here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's like...
I'm like, no, fuck that. I've been like that my whole life because I can't stand it. Want to know why? Because all of my fucking brothers are the exact same guy, and I can't stand that guy.
I just like being like, especially when I'm around guys like you two.
Yeah.
I'm able to be myself and be comfortable.
Exactly.
And then you get in a different group with other people, and you feel like, okay, I've got to kind of straighten out and don't say. And you're in your head, you're like, okay, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it.
Yeah, I still kind of like. I'm slowly getting out of it, but I'm still kind of like, whenever I'm in a group of people I don't really know, I'm kind of like the guy in the corner, like just chilling out.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying not to be awkward, but it's still like. People are like, who's that guy in the corner?
Yeah. And it's frustrating
because he's not talking to anybody.
I don't even try to hide anything anymore. Now I'm just like, you guys are going to learn this eventually, so boom.
See, I used to be like a really social person. Like, I used to love being around crowds of people. I used to love running into somebody I didn't know and just be like, hey, what's up? What's your name? I'm Mikey, you know.
And they're like, go down.
I can't do that now because of such of like the negative response I've got from people. Because they're like, dude, you need to back up. You're fucking weird. I'm like, I'm not trying to be creepy. I'm just being myself.
Yeah, I was at, if I remember correctly, I was at a moments that happened.
Yeah,
and I was watching. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with that guy?
I didn't. I just hated it. I was like, and then they would stay over, and then I wouldn't have anywhere to sleep, and then I would just be like,
sounds like you guys need to get some of that
Dude,
soundproof foam.
I remember whenever I learned that you went to the Performing Arts Center.
Yeah, the Performing Arts Center. I slept in the back of the Performing Arts Center in Broken Arrow on Main Street.
He took a pillow and a blanket and he slept there, and no one noticed.
On the concrete. I mean, a lot of those things were just my own decision. I mean, I could have slept in a bed easily. You know, I was doing drugs and stuff then, and I didn't really have
as much fun as
I wasn't as straight, you know, as I am now. You know.
Now he's a bit smushy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just kidding.
No, but
I mean, I know, you know, those are some of the funnest like times of my life too, but also like the darkest. But it was because of my own bad decisions. Yeah. I mean, I don't contribute any of that to like, oh, my parents left me behind, you know, or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was just because I wanted to be a stupid fucking kid, you know. That's 4 or 5 years ago.
Going back to that, like, because like, to me, it was a big important thing because, you know, like, so it was like Project X. When I came there, and then people showed up, because this is whenever I was working at Looney Bin. I showed up like an hour and a half after it started, right? And I came home and there was just people everywhere, and I was walking through, and like the people that I knew were hanging outside. Everyone that I didn't know was inside.
Yeah. All this shit.
And you know, around the people that I knew on the outside. And I'm like, shit, there's people in the backyard, there's people in the front yard, there's people in the house, every single DJs are using my washer and dryer for their turntables. This is insane. There's hot chicks in there, you know, dancing in, you know, slutty nurse outfits and shit. And I was just like,
a Halloween party.
Yeah, I walked through the whole party, and I actually shot a video on my phone that I posted on Facebook of me walking through the whole party. Like, it was, you know, it's a small house, so it was fast. But like, after I shot that little video, I was just like, this must be what Stifler feels like. Because I never thought that those movie parties.
You didn't think it would get like that.
Yeah, like there's always like 500 kids hanging out and drinking. I'm like,
that's just the movies. That's just dramatization.
Yeah, that's just a dramatization. I was living that moment, and then I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And that to me, like again, that was me getting out of my shell. And this is the first time like I felt like actually like I was actually like a cool person that people liked being around and all that stuff.
That is probably like the biggest party I've ever been to, even though it was like in the smallest location possible.
That's actually the third biggest party I've been to.
Oh, fucking Mr. Party Animal over here.
Hey, like, no, it's funny. Like again, everyone's perceptions.
Well, it's probably all at your house too.
What?
Were all those parties?
Oh yeah, that was the biggest one at my house, definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was, dude. I think there was more than 300 people there. I guarantee it. Yeah. Because you could not like walk anywhere without bumping into somebody.
Exactly. Like no, dude. I'm just saying like 326 people like at any given time. But obviously people left and then other people cycled in.
Yeah.
So there probably was like maybe like 1,000 some odd people.
Dude, there had to be because people were calling their friends. Hey, we're at a big
like 3 a.m.
We're at a big party. You know, there's alcohol here. There's one little bald guy running around drinking all of it. No, then remember my hair like 4 years ago.
Oh,
like it was, dude. It was so long, and it was crazy. Like, I would just like, kind of just like mess it up or whatever, then spike it.
You're doing your bedhead thing.
And then, like a year after that, I went to jail, and I was sat in jail for like a week, and I kept on like, I just laid in bed the whole time because there's nothing to do in there, and I had this gigantic dread that formed in the back of my head, and it was just one nasty like so. That's when I started shaving my head. This was like four years ago, I think.
You got a good shaved head.
So now, and I was like, I shaved my head, and I was like, that's what everybody told me. It's like, you look good.
Because that's the main thing people are scared about when they get their head shaved, is having a weird looking head.
So ever since then, I'm like 4 years ago, I've been shaving my head.
When I had to shave my head, 3 people said that I looked like young Henry Rollins. I was like, fuck yeah.
That's badass. I probably look weird because I have that scar in my head.
I also got shamed from
from being clotheslined by a flat after jumping off a flight of stairs. I probably look really weird. I probably have like I don't know if you can see it, but it might actually have a small indentation right here. I think you can see it like right in my head. Yeah. Right, a little tiny dent right there.
I said, Mikey, you just kissed it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have, dude. I mean, and like the reason I also started shaving too my head was because I have a pretty bad receding hairline ever since I was like 16 or 17. Yeah. And my hair is just really thin, and I just kind of hated that. I just didn't like it, so it's like and I just started shaving it, and everyone's like, "You look good bald." Yeah. So and I always try to keep the facial hair, unless if I shave my beard and shave my head, I look like a toe. Like, I just look really weird. It's like, is that Michael Chiklis? Well, getting back on track, what I want to talk about a few things like. Comedy-wise.
Okay, yeah, let's get back to that.
And did we already bring up the, okay, no. This is, what show that was a comedy or movie deserves either a sequel, a series, or a reimagining?
I don't know. I wanted to say, like, I don't know.
Or maybe there's a few things that... either had just a pilot episode and was canceled, or
I can't think of one right now. Like
I can't think of one either.
One?
I did, but I don't remember it because I didn't write it down. Because that's when I came up with the idea. I was like, okay, I have an idea for something. I'm gonna ask Rudy and Adam, but I just didn't write it down.
Write it down, Mikey.
I need to start writing shit down. God damn it!
I was kind of wanting like a spiritual sequel to This Is the End.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, dude. Well, I want more movies that are like that same style, where actors are kind of playing exaggerated versions of themselves,
playing like really douchey versions of themselves.
Yeah, and that was This Is the End. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it because it's super funny.
It's hilarious.
Seth Rogen is really good about just coming out with really original content.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He doesn't do anything that's really kind of based off anything or whatever. It's just funny shit. And there's a couple things that he made that he didn't act in, but he wrote, which were really good, like The Watch. Yeah. Did you ever see The Watch?
Yeah, The Watch was good.
It was about like a neighborhood watch group. And they found that alien thing or whatever.
And my favorite actor in that one is I can't remember his name. He's in the IT Crowd, Richard.
The black guy with the afro.
That guy.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
Ludicrous.
But even if you haven't watched the IT Crowd, go watch it right now really because they're about to take it off of Netflix.
Yeah, like in like a week.
Huh.
Yeah. So
and another one kind of I want a spiritual sequel to is have you guys ever seen Slither?
It's my house phone. Sorry.
Whose phone is that?
It's my house phone. It's probably a telemarketer.
Slither.
Slither. Have you seen Slither?
Yes, I love Slither.
I love Slither. I wanted to do like.
I'm going to answer this on air.
Okay, answer it on air.
Hello. Bullshit! They were like, you have just won a trip to, wherever.
The Bahamas. The Caribbean.
There was this one lady, man, I played her for like 10 minutes the other day on the phone. She just kept telling me, okay, Mr. White, you have been selected to win a trip to the Caribbean with no cost at all. And I'm like, oh, fuck, no way. And then she's like, well, all you have to do is pay X amount of dollars and do this survey. And I was like, oh my gosh, only that? Are you serious? Just kind of making her be like, yeah, yes, Mr. White, exactly. And I was like, I hate boats. I don't know.
No, last time that happened to me, it was obviously an outsourced indie guy that was talking to me, and he said his little pitch, and then he said, and I'm Bruce Wayne. And I said, no, motherfucker, I'm Batman. And I hung up.
I was actually listening to this interview the other day with Adam Sandler, and he was on Conan, and he was talking about this time that Michael Keaton hosted Saturday Night Live, and then after that they all went to dinner, and it was like him, Chris Farley, and a bunch of those people, and when the check came, they all kind of was like, no, we'll pay, and Michael Keaton was like, no, I got it, and they're like, no, we got it, and he goes, I'm Batman. He was like, I'm Batman, I thought that was really funny, and they always talk, and anytime I hear a story about Chris Farley, it makes me it makes me so happy because, I liked watching, a lot of his stuff on Saturday Night Live when I was a kid, because my dad was so into it.
Yeah, the movie, I saw for the first time Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh my god, that is one of my favorite movies of all
really
time.
Good.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
As well, yeah.
I haven't heard
with
that one.
Chris Farley.
The guy who played Liu Kang in the first Mortal Kombat and second Mortal Kombat movie, who plays his brother.
Yeah.
And I saw it for the first time, when I was younger, 2 days before it was all over the tabloids. Chris Farley died of OD and stuff. So
it's really sad, you've got. You think about him now.
You always
it's
leave the door open when you use the lobby. Close it.
It's okay. I don't think we could hear it.
No, you can hear it because I always hear it on every podcast.
Oh, and I also want to apologize to whoever's listening to the past few podcasts. For some reason, there's been some sort of interference with the microphone or something, to where there's a 5-second buzz or a muffle or whatever.
Yeah, in the first episode, about an hour and 10 minutes in, it was we were talking, me and Rudy were talking, but our vocal tracks were getting warped and mixed together, and glitched out somehow.
But what's weird is when I listen to it on the actual audio track, it doesn't do it.
That's weird.
That's
really weird.
I don't know what's going on.
It might be getting kind of screwed up in SoundCloud, maybe.
Yeah, it might be getting something like that.
We're still gonna use SoundCloud, but
another thing too. I was listening to one of the podcasts. This is really random. This is totally off topic. I was talking about Fantastic Four and Galactus, and I totally switched my shit around. When they defeated Galactus, it was Mr. Fantastic who had to go out and find the gun.
The ultimate nullifier. I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was listening to that and I was like, I know what I was talking about, but for some reason I was kind of
talking about too.
But he flipped it around. He flipped it around on himself. He made it sound
like knew what you were talking about.
It was Mr. Fantastic that went to that.
Guys, you don't know this, but this has been on his mind the past.
Yeah, it's
2 weeks.
Because I feel like a total jackass and idiot. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, if you do remember, you had been drinking.
Yeah. Well, you were kind of sauced in that one.
Oh, I wasn't that sauced. That was the second episode.
No, I've seen you worse. That wasn't sauced.
Yeah, I wasn't sauced.
No, I've seen you sauced.
Let's get past that and.
Moving on. At that Halloween party we had that one time.
Yeah.
That was 4 years ago.
The bittersweet, jolly happening times.
But
continue.
I just wanted to fix that just in case anybody who didn't know that I fucked that up. It was We
are correcting ourselves.
It was Mr. Fantastic who had to go out and get the gun to destroy Galactus, which was, I think, the reason I brought it up, because it was funny to me that he's just so powerful, and all that took to defeat him was.
It was like a gun, but the way you were saying it to us, It made it seem like Galactus was using the gun to like destroy the Earth, and you're like, he's a god. Why
he's already exactly. I was like, and I listened to that, and I was like, I just think I just fucking flipped.
And then as you were saying that, I was like, he's getting this all mixed up. And then like I made the comment of Galactus having an M16 is this.
Are we at that point? We're only episode 3. We're having the clip show.
Yeah, I just wanted to just put that out there.
We already said it's been bothering you.
I know it's been.
You just said it. Let's move on.
After I listened to it,
he loses sleep over this. He loses sleep.
But I'm happy because we finally fixed something from episode 1. Because like we just started talking, we didn't really say anything about ourselves. The most we said about ourselves was that we're from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And so now you guys got a ton of information on at least the two of us, and you a little.
Yeah.
When you were doing your video game spiel.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's great. Actually, I wanted to play a game.
Oh, what's your game, sir? Oh, that reminds me. I'm disappointed in all of you that none of you posted a person, place, or thing for the game that we're supposed to have.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with that? Yeah, I mean, we've got like 50 listens on almost each of those podcasts.
Yeah. Also, I got a few messages from friends on my Facebook saying like, 100 people, that's a big deal. I made 100 people on the first day. But I'm like, dude, that's because you're a fucking hot chick.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be easy for you to make 100 likes on any page that you put on because 99% of those likes are trying to.
We need to make our profile pic like a really, really hot girl.
Just like cleavage as a profile pic.
Yeah.
And then change our names. And I messaged I'm not gonna give her name out because just in case, whatever. Mm-hmm. But the person who had the 100th like on Facebook, I messaged her and told her, hey, we're gonna
do something special
for you. Mm-hmm. And she read it, but she never said anything back.
Aww.
I was like,
she's probably creeped out.
Like, we're gonna give you something for free. And I was like, you never know. It's like, I know this girl. She's having a kid. Mm-hmm. She's about to get married. It's like, we could give you a fucking toaster, or
something you need,
a baby bottle, or whatever. And she didn't say anything.
A cage to put your kids in.
At least not now. She could have at least said thanks, right?
Yeah, at least be like thanks, but you can give it to somebody else.
You just say she's getting married, she's having a kid, so she's probably like not really too worried.
But she read it and she's like, she didn't say anything back, like thanks, but no thanks.
She was probably like on her cell phone glancing and looked at it on the notification.
Yeah, I'm sure just like.
And she's like, "Oh, I'll respond to this later." And
if I ever see her,
I do that all the time.
I'm gonna fart on her.
That's her special thing that she got. She got some.
Yeah,
that's what you get. That's what you get.
Yeah.
That's actually like quite a compliment coming from me. I mean, if I fart on you, that means I like you a lot.
Yeah. I've seen what he does when he doesn't like you. It's not pretty.
Yeah, it's a lot worse than that.
Anyway,
is that what's in that room? What happens when he doesn't like you?
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, actually, that's just the.
Let us not speak of that room.
That is just the water heater.
Sure. The water heater.
Okay.
What's up, Mikey?
So what I've done.
Oh, okay, the game. Yeah, I forgot.
I'm gonna do a little bit of comic book trivia.
Oh.
And the loser of each question has to eat one of the every flavored beans, and they're jelly beans that are
one of the what?
The Birdie Bods.
Birdie Bods. It's off the Harry Potter movie or series or whatever.
I never read the book.
They're jelly beans that are flavored anywhere from strawberry to vomit.
Oh, okay.
So you could eat a delicious tasting one, or you could eat one that tastes like your grandma's shoes.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions. Each of you. I'm not playing because I'm on home turf.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
So
you dick. Like we're gonna record anywhere else.
Well, you never know.
Or at least for now.
Let me see.
We're working on that, folks.
I've got.
Hurry up.
Okay.
No, you're taking away some of our geek cred right now.
In the comic books.
Okay.
Bruce Banner. Mm-hmm. That isn't actually his name. Mm. Bruce is his middle name. Mm-hmm. What is Bruce's first name? I'll give you a multiple choice. Mm-hmm. A. David. Mm. B. Robert. Mm-hmm. Or C. Daniel. And remember, Bruce is.
Is this like a buzzing
name.
thing, or are you gonna ask each of us separately?
Just tell me what you think it is.
I for some reason I want to say David. So for some reason I want to say David.
Okay,
Bruce
David?
Banner.
It is David.
You both are incorrect.
What?
Is it Robert?
It's Robert.
I was gonna say Robert. Might be Robert.
Robert Bruce Banner is his full name.
Is David Banner? Maybe I'm thinking of the rapper.
Oh no, we're both thinking of the TV show. They changed it to David because they thought the name Bruce Banner was too gay.
Yeah. Well, I just.
Is that why they changed it?
That's why they changed it.
Well, both of you are fucking wrong.
Fuck.
So both of you have to
yay.
eat one of these beans. I'm gonna open the case here now.
Oh God.
It looked like total idiots now because we had that huge spiel about Incredible Hulk last time.
Okay.
I'm gonna get
There's one for him,
There.
and there's one
We all
for
get
you.
some.
Okay, let me look at both of those.
Mine's
so I kinda,
white,
Yours is
or
white.
off-white, creamish.
Okay, and then.
Mine's kind of baby blue.
Okay, go ahead.
This looks like Robin's egg blue.
Both of you eat your.
Now?
Yeah, now.
His face is funny.
Toothpaste.
You got soap.
Oh.
Adam got a soap flavored jelly bean.
Look out, my God, he's squinting and shit.
And Rudy, you got earwax.
I got earwax?
Yeah. Does it taste like earwax?
It just tastes like a jelly bean to me.
It definitely tastes
like a
kind of
flavorless
soapy.
jelly bean.
It tastes kind of like
Oh, it's probably the aftertaste where you
kind of like when you get shampoo
Yeah.
in your mouth, kind of.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, that's kind of funny. Well, all the flavors on here. There's
Well, to me, what it tastes like is actually like the aftertaste of bread pudding.
Yeah, there's like a hint of like there's like a hint of cotton candy in mine, but there's like a weird soapy like aftertaste.
Yeah.
There's random flavors on here such as black pepper, booger,
That one wasn't that bad.
Your turn.
No,
We both lost, so you get one.
earthworm. Well, that's not my fault.
Yeah.
You guys need to know your shit.
Yeah, sure.
Earthworm, earwax, grass, rotten egg, sausage, soap. I mean, I've already looked at all the
I'm just
descriptions.
as long as I don't get a vomit or a skunk flavored one.
I'm gonna know what it is, Rudy. I mean,
Well, yeah.
I have to close my eyes and probably eat it
Yeah.
since I already kind of know what all of them look
I'm
like.
trying to find something here.
Make a character that's relevant, not like
not-
fucking
not-
arcade or.
Now it kind of tastes like I got my mouth cleaned out with soap.
Okay, here's something.
Was it bad? I mean,
You allegedly are gonna know this.
It wasn't that bad, but it's just the soap. Its soap taste is kind of kicking in now.
It's kicking in for you. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll probably get the earwax here in like another 10 seconds because that's.
Yeah, it's kind of feels like I just licked a bar of soap.
Okay.
I do that all every once in a while.
Okay. You ready, Mikey?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. What is okay, here it is. What is the name of Glamour's husband? Follow-up question. What was her first appearance?
Glamour, she was in X-Men 54?
What was her first appearance? Are you saying that's her first appearance?
Yeah.
It is not.
The Fantastic Four?
No. I think you're probably gonna have to eat one for every wrong answer you're giving me.
Fuck you.
No, just one. You ready? I also said, what is the name of her husband?
I don't fucking know. I don't even really remember anything about Glamour.
Boom. Okay. For those of you, her husband's name is Ilya Zarkov, and her first appearance, which is something you should know because you particularly like these characters, is The Vision in the Scarlet Witch, Volume 2, Number 4. So eat one, sir.
So
I gotta close my eyes.
Put your eyes.
He actually knows the flavors.
Because I've seen, because there's like a picture on the back of all of them.
Just pull out a random one.
I'm definitely pulling out a random one here. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm not looking.
Eat it.
Eat it.
Did you give me two? Oh,
I'm
No,
gonna
it's
give you
one.
one. You're probably tasting your weird thumbs.
Do you know which one you gave me?
I'm pretty sure I know which one I gave you.
It's kind of tasty.
It's kind of tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was kind of tasty at first, then the taste kicked in.
This is super tasty.
Is it super tasty? This says a lot about you, Mikey.
It tastes like fruit.
Tastes like fruit?
It really does.
Okay.
Which one did you give me?
I gave you booger.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Let me see.
It doesn't taste like a
That was
booger.
the color. Did you see the color? That was the color.
Was that it right there?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like a booger. It tastes
Mine
like
doesn't taste like earwax. Mine tastes like the aftertaste of bread pudding, which is tasty.
Was it speckled like that too?
Yes, it was speckled just like that.
That's not a booger. If boogers taste like
I don't
that,
know what boogers taste like. I never ate my boogers.
I need to eat boogers more
That's
often.
mine, though.
If that is what they taste like.
Because it might have been a green.
Let's
apple.
just say that.
Dude, yeah, that tastes like an apple.
Okay, that it probably was.
You gave me a green apple, you piece of shit.
No, it wasn't that green.
It wasn't that green though.
No.
It was like
What did I get?
What about
Like that
the
was
one next to
speckled.
it? Was it just green or grass?
No, it was speckled like booger.
Dude, that did not taste like a booger.
Well, guess what? You came out on
You
top
like
of
these-
this. You didn't get a shitty one.
you like.
Well, fucking.
You're all freaked out and stuff. Again,
Plus, those Vision and Scarlet Witch comics are not that great. Just saying.
is that the whole game? Is that as long as we're playing?
Yeah.
Are you,
I mean, unless you guys want to eat more of those fucking nasty beans.
I don't know. I'm kind of afraid.
We did two. Let's do one more.
Let's do.
Okay, one more.
Just to round it out.
I'll ask you guys, and I'll try to make it as easy as possible.
As long as I don't get skunk or vomit, I'm fine.
It's probably gonna happen.
I gotta find a comic book character you guys probably both would know. Okay. That's a good one. Shut up.
I'm giving them something to listen to besides, lip smack.
Hawkeye,
yes.
who is Clint Bratton. Is he both Barton?
Barton.
Sorry.
Barton, bitch.
I'm sorry!
Are you dyslexic?
A little bit. Just calm down.
Dyslexic on tie.
What is his wife? She also was a superhero as well. Who was she?
Adam.
I can't think of it because I keep thinking of the movie Wife, but they're not the same.
Yeah, that was stupid.
The movie Wife. I can't think of
I
it.
have no idea why they introduced that at all.
It's not the same though. I can't remember it.
Do you guys want like a multiple choice?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Gives us some chance of not eating vomit.
Yellow Jacket. Which is not even a female, but oh, no, I can't even give you multiple choice because it'd give it away. Because you guys know who else.
Who the other characters you're thinking of are?
I'm not telling you because I would give it away.
I can't think of it. I'm never gonna have to eat vomit. No.
I can't think of it either. You're giving us good questions, man.
Yeah, she was Mockingbird.
Damn it.
That's why, because I haven't seen all the episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay.
Yay! Here comes Skunk.
We totally lost.
He's looking at him. Don't look at him.
We've lost fans today.
Because I poured out.
Because they believe that we have
guys.
full authority and full expertise.
So
on
close
stuff.
your eyes, boys.
I don't remember this shit. Okay, here it goes. Here it happens.
Just eat it. Don't look at it. Oh, you piece of shit! You looked at it.
I don't think. Okay. I'm biting. From your face, I knew you gave me something bad. Your fucking little 5-year-old laugh. I did something naughty and I enjoyed it.
You gave me Skunk, didn't you?
I think I might have got skunk.
No, I gave you black pepper, Rudy.
You gave me black pepper? Well, it did
And
taste a little bit licoricey.
I think I gave Adam lemon.
You didn't give me lemon.
It's not lemon. It's either rotten egg or earwax.
Rotten eggs taste more like.
You mine just tastes like black licorice.
Yeah, mine taste. Oh no! Have you ever had those like Well, what one I just ate? You know, there's like banana Laffy Taffies. Mm-hmm. Mine tasted kind of like that until I had it in my mouth for a little bit longer, and then it kind of. You can tell. I can tell it's something rotten.
Okay, so like,
the taste is sticking in.
if we're to play a game next week, would either of you be opposed to eating like a really, really spicy pepper, like a habanero or something? I wouldn't go as far as saying ghost chili or the Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, as long as we have like some milk or bread.
Yeah.
But you can't have milk or bread for at least 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Just so you can like. That's fine. So we can
so people can hear our pain.
Yeah, we can hear us suffer, and
then if you lose and you have to eat the pepper, you have to eat the pepper, but then try and tell a old like folklore or whatever, like Little Red Riding Hood or something like that.
Okay, cool. That sounds cool. Yeah, I like
so you have to try to tell that story while you're eating that really spicy pepper.
That's a fun time.
That sounds painful. Let's do it.
Yeah. The taste, like I said, the taste kicked in. It tastes like whenever you get like a chicken McNugget, but someone new's working the grill, so you taste the greaser. You taste the greaser. That's what it tastes like to me. I'm tasting the greaser.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not eating any more of these, so.
Yeah, just say those for later.
Do you guys want to try one of these just for fun?
No.
I mean, there's like banana, blueberry, candy.
Hey, if it's a good one,
let's see.
Go ahead and give me it. If it's like
these, and again, these are the Birdie Bots every flavored beans. Here is a green apple.
Oh, thank you. Watch it be like essence.
No, I wouldn't do that too. And marshmallow.
Ooh, marshmallow. It's a bit speckled, so it's.
Yeah, no, I promise you. Look, marshmallow.
Hey,
that's marshmallow.
It just tastes like kind of like a Mike and Ike. Ever had Mike and Ike's?
Oh yeah, dude.
It's really good.
The one I'm really like curious about is the vomit one. And there's a sausage
I'm definitely not curious about the vomit one.
I don't want to.
I've been sick before. I know what that tastes like.
But like, what kind of vomit did they go off of?
Okay, my marshmallow bean. It tastes like.
Should I eat one of the vomit ones?
It tastes like juicy fruit when it's out of flavor.
Just for the show and for entertainment
eat a vomit.
Purposes, I'm gonna eat one of these.
And drop half the box on the floor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of soap ones in
No
here.
one would have known if you didn't say anything.
Hey, they heard it. They heard it.
Probably.
Okay, folks, we're getting close to the end here. I'm gonna eat one of these vomit jelly beans.
Oh God, this is gonna be awful.
I'm holding it as we speak.
I've heard these ones. I've heard the bad ones are bad.
Slowly
really
regretting this. Okay, here I go. Oh my God, dude!
You made a gag.
Oh my God!
I told you.
For those of you who don't know, Mikey actually is a really pretty decent cook, and he has a sensitive palate, so he is really feeling this.
Dude, that tastes like old wet bread.
Oh my God!
Like at first I was like, okay, this is kind of sweet, but then like
it kicked in. Yeah.
It tasted like, oh my God. I need to drink something here. Don't try that at home. Just give them to your little sister or brother.
Someone you don't like.
Actually, yeah, your grandma.
I'm
just kidding.
She'll probably be dead in 2 days anyway.
Yeah, I love my grandmas. They're. That's besides the point. We could have a whole episode about my grandma. That is awful. Like, what the fuck do they do to like?
I don't know. Some of those flavors are pretty spot on. Like the soap one. The soap one was pretty spot on.
It tastes like you licked a bar of soap.
And it tastes like
what's weird is like it's sweet at first.
Yeah,
right?
it tastes like cotton candy kind of, or like kind of like Laffy Taffy. Yeah. And then eventually, as you're chewing and it stays in there longer, it sort of morphs into what it's supposed to be.
I had to spit out that vomit jelly bean.
It just tasted like cotton. It tasted like cotton candy that was like dipped in shampoo.
Oh man,
that's what it tasted like. It wasn't. Luckily, I didn't get the vomit one or the skunk one. I've heard those are the two worst ones I have in there. And maybe
I didn't see skunk on here.
They didn't have skunk. Maybe that might be
all the bad flavors are, I guess, would say, kind of off the top are vomit, rotten egg, earwax, dirt, booger, and black pepper.
Yeah, I think there's actually another brand of these that do
And grass too.
That might be where I saw it because there are a brand of these like kind of.
I mean, I imagine they make bigger boxes with more flavor. Well, this was like $1 or $1, you know. So go out and try these things. That'd be a fun thing to bring to a party or just a get together or whatever, just to prank your friends. But folks, I think that's it for this episode.
It feels like this one was a short one.
No,
I actually felt like it was kind of longer because we went off on a humongous tangent.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I kind of zoned out during the whole video game.
Well, and I think we're probably caught up with our other episodes.
Yeah, I think we're pretty close.
I wouldn't say this is the strongest of the three because we're just we didn't do anything like on topic to what we planned on talking about.
We did, kind of.
Like I said, we got around to something I want to talk about, just like letting people know what we're like. There was a lot of comedy stuff like brought up and everything like that. So we covered that, and we just kind of. Actually, looking at the outline here, we've done every covered subject but one.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
And you kind of did the thing because it was your favorite comedy writer, and you talked about Dan Harmon. So.
Yeah, Dan Harmon, Mike Judge. Funniest people, I think.
Mine was, but we'll do this like if we ever get into like a stand-up episode. Mine is Greg Giraldo, favorite comedy writer.
Oh, amazing!
I was gonna say like basically like Mike Judge, anybody like that?
Yeah, he's.
At least that's a stand-up comedian, right? Or like there's other ones. That's what was on the top of my head when I wrote it down.
Well, my freaklings, thanks for tuning in this week. Stay tuned for next week.
Stay pretty.
Stay freaky.
Get weird.
Have sex with somebody older than you.
I was waiting the entire episode to do that.
Hey freaklings, just wanted to remind you guys to go to Quizzies in Broken Arrow at 418 North Main Street to get comics, records, and crazy collectibles. Like a vintage horror movie poster or an Avengers board game. Support your local comic book shop. Not good enough for you? You cappuccino drinking slut? Quizzies is also a thrift store too. Get a cool lunar rug for your goth friend or a lovely hat for your mom that lives with you. Yeah, she lives with you. Tell them the freak sent you and see what happens. Seriously, we want to know.